Welcome to the Weekend Podcast. Just a quick little note before I start. We recorded this podcast on Thursday evening. Now, I say that because Peter asked me about the share price of Polarean, which has risen by over 50% this week. And Thursday was his only down day. And so Peter asked me, where do you think the share price is going to go from here? And I said, well, it could consolidate here. But when you have a stock like this, which is going to be, I think, the new standard in pulmonary sort of investigational sort of tech, around the world, were truly groundbreaking, then who knows where it'll go. And of course, the dips get bought, and that's momentum. And when you get powerful momentum in a stock, you don't know where it could go. It writes new rules. It can get massively overbought. So when you get normal levels on the chart, look at 70 on the RSI as overbought. This can shoot up to 90, and it can stay there for a while. So it will come back eventually a little bit and consolidate, but then I think that'll get bought again, and that's when more momentum sets in. So I just want to put that in context. We recorded this on a Thursday night. Hope the podcast provides some value for you.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
How dare you have a life outside of the podcast? So rude. I must admit, I completely forgot as well. I've just started cutting up my my dinner, so I'm going to continue to do that.
Cutting up your dinner? Steve, sorry, how old are you, Steve?
Cutting up your dinner.
So just let me start here. Welcome to the Weekend Podcast. Trying to get a hold of Paddy. He's just coming back from weightlifting. Whoa, I'm his mate of weightlifting. See, heavy weights. Whoa, make me strong. Big arms, big chest, all that stuff. And Steve is he's late, as you just heard. He's cutting up his dinner. What are you having, Steve?
It's a homemade stir fry.
I see. Well, it's only a homemade course, isn't it? Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Well, you're chopping it up, so.
Yeah. Well, it's not one of those packet ones. I'm making it from scratch.
Oh, I love the term "from scratch." Do you? And I also have a mate before say I make it from scratch. What do you do? He said, well, I chop the onions, and then I add what's his name? Uncle Ben's sweet and sour sauce. That is not from scratch. He said, well, it is more from scratch than ordering from a takeaway. I said, well, I know, but it's from scratch. But I mean, I think that use a sauce is a lot easier. Add stuff to it, yeah. Use a sauce, add stuff to it, Steve. That's the way to go, isn't it?
No, because I've gone away from the stir fry sauces. I now do just like soy sauce and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, do you know what? Listen, my favourite two sauces of all time, right, are sweet chili sauce and soy sauce. You can add those to any dish and it makes it tasty. Doesn't matter what you're eating. You could be eating bits of cardboard.
Can I recommend one to you?
Go on.
To add to your soy sauce?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's pronounced exactly. It's called ketchup mantis. Is that it?
I don't know. Ketchup mantis sounds like a disease.
It's ketchup mantis.
Tomato ketchup.
Yeah. Well, have you heard?
Is the bottle upside down?
Have you heard that guy that sauce was invented by that Welsh Chinese guy from the valleys?
Bob.
No, teriyaki. Terry, see? Oh, he's a lovely sauce, Terry. Teriyaki, he called it. No, do you know what? Megan went to the shops the other day. We're going to get the stocks in a bit. Show us the home bargains.
What, stock cubes?
And they went to the home bargains today, and they went to stock cubes next. And they had he's here all podcast. And they went to home bargains, and all these sauces. What they call the famous soy sauces, that range, but they had teriyaki, they had satay sauce, they had sweet chili sauce, all on reduced, and she bought loads of them, filled the cupboard. So everything now, I just add those sauces to it. Don't know what I have, to be the most basic sandwich in the world. Add a bit of teriyaki, lovely indeed. Hoisin, yes, he's another Welsh fella. All right, Hoisin. Right, Steve, what are you using?
He's chopping up his dinner.
Steve!
We're doing a podcast.
I need to sharpen my knife. I think that's why it's so noisy.
This is not Saturday Morning Kitchen. It's a weekend podcast with stocks.
Pretty much all of the listeners have now turned off.
Yeah. Do you know what I want to talk about? Is the markets and COVID, right? We are getting to fear, aren't we? Height of fear. Everything's getting locked down. In fact, Tier 2, Steve's in. What tier are you in, Steve?
Tier 2.
Tier 2. London Essex Tier 2, Liverpool Tier 3, I think. What is the difference between Tier 2 and Tier 3?
They start closing the bars and restaurants.
No, they're all like that. Tier 2 and Tier 3 and Tier 1.
No, Tier 2, they're not closing restaurants and bars.
Oh, okay. Tier 2, they close everything, and they get more. People want to be in Tier 3, though, don't they? People don't now.
Right.
Businesses don't want to be in Tier 2. So they said basically.
Tier 3 is the high one.
Yeah, I know, but you get financial support.
Yeah, you're forced to close.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. When in Tier 2, you get no customers but no financial support. So, so it's ridiculous. But I don't understand this, The Labour are playing politics, saying let's lock down everything. And I go, no, hang on a second. We did that previously. We're still back where we are now. What's changed? If we do it for 2 weeks now, nothing's going to change. We locked down for 2 weeks. It's going to cost the government a lot of money, people lots of jobs, and then we'll come back out, and the R figure will go up again, won't it? Because, and also, if you do go really extreme and lock everyone down, so this is all sorted out, and then people are unlocked, people go to the extremes then, don't they? And like, right, let's go and party. We can go out and party and mingle.
Yeah.
So I just think... and nothing will change. I don't understand why. All we got to do now is be sensible, social distance a little bit. Don't mix with people anyway. Mainly people are annoying, generally spend too much time. So social distance.
It's easier said to say, it's easier for us to say that because we're old and we've done it all. But when you're like teenagers, it's quite hard to do that.
Yeah, no, I understand. The teenagers, you're hardwired to socialise and party, and you're literally trying to lock that down is like trying to come off a drug, and I understand that. In fact, my cousin Henry, he's got COVID.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but didn't know, asymptomatic. That seems to be the way, isn't it? If you're younger, you don't know you got it. And why has he got it? Because he went to see his mates who were students in Bristol. They were at a party, and they all caught it, of course. And that's where it's coming from. But that's not, to me, that's not a bad thing. As long as you stay away from, now he's now staying away from my parents, which is good.
Yeah.
And his parents have been tested as well, which is a good thing. So as long as you stay away from the vulnerable, it's good. It's not a bad thing spreading it amongst people who can handle it. That's the way to go forward. In 6 to 8 months, we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, I would have thought so, yeah. Yeah, well, sort of... that whole herd immunity thing, there's got to be an element of truth in that. It's not going to work universally, but it'll kind of, surely there must be...
Well, didn't they say, I couldn't believe when I heard the news this week, they said some people have caught the coronavirus the second time.
Yeah.
And then it said it was 6 people across the whole world.
That's what I mean.
That's amazing. That's brilliant. There's only 6
That's what
people.
I mean. It's small nuts. So herd immunity won't work, perhaps, there won't be quite herd immunity. But, there are going to be anomalies. There's always going to be anomalies, aren't there? But, you can't help feeling... got to kind of keep some sense of normality or get back to some sort of...
Well, think about it now. This is what I think, right? The second wave, they're all trying to put the fear of God into us, right? But NHS capacity wasn't taken up in the first wave. We had all those NHS Nightingale hospitals that were empty, which is not a bad thing, I know. But, so why are we fearing the second wave? Because now we have drugs, therapeutics, that can help you survive. If you're in the vulnerable category, stuff Trump took, basically, dexamethasone and all this stuff, and remdesivir and all that. That kind of stuff now can help people. The survival rate's gone up massively. The deaths aren't there. So surely the second wave, the vulnerable were thrown to the dogs in the first wave anyway. The old people who moved out of beds in hospitals, put into old people's homes, and it didn't protect the old people's homes. That's why our death rate is so high. So the second wave, why are we fearing it so much? I think the NHS can cope. I really do. I mean, last time they just shut everything down anyway, and they coped anyway. I know it was hard work for a lot of them, but I don't think it's bad this time. They got therapeutics, and I think we are more prepared this time anyway. It took us by surprise a little bit last time. We were aware it was coming, but we still didn't have enough PPE equipment. We didn't have the drugs, but now we got all that, and so I think we're more ready for the second wave. I mean, really, what's the big deal? I don't understand the big deal of locking everyone down. Because if you lock everyone down, it'll just just flare back up when everyone goes back out. So we just sort of live with it for a while.
Everyone understands it better now, don't they? Surely. So
Yeah, exactly. Listen, the media are annoying because they keep highlighting those scenes of partying and all. That doesn't happen everywhere. The majority of people in the country, are abiding by the rules. They're washing their hands. They're social distancing. They're working from home if they can. They're all doing that stuff. And so I think we've got to just live with it. And like I said, Pfizer, as long as there's no pauses in the phase 3 trials, then they will have figures out close to the end of this month, or just listen. Trump's got his he's on the phone to the Pfizer CEO every day. Come on, get the figures out. And so there's been a couple of pauses. Have you noticed that? There's 3 companies now have paused their clinical trials because they've had adverse reactions. But that's not a bad thing. It's like Johnson & Johnson are testing 60,000 people. And they've had 1 adverse reaction. AstraZeneca are testing up, 20,000 people, I think it is, or 30,000 people. And they had 1 adverse reaction. That was someone with a spinal cord condition anyway. So AstraZeneca now has gone back everywhere apart from the US. It's now back in working order, still on pause in the US. I think Eli Lilly as well, another pharmaceutical company, has gone on pause. But these pauses are good things because it shows the system's working. You know, if you get an adverse reaction, you stop and you investigate, and then you can move on. But yeah, listen, we're going to have good news in the next couple of months. And like I said, 6 to 8 months. Even in fact, you know, Clive Dickens. No, Clive, not Clive Dickens. Clive, what's his name?
Clive Dix.
Clive Dix, yes, Clive Dix from C4XD. Did you know he was actually the deputy big man of the vaccine task force? Yeah.
Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, this week, I don't know if you noticed.
Is he?
Yes. You see the vaccine task force. He's the deputy chair.
That's it.
So the steering board for the UK.
Okay. So has that just been announced?
Sort of, yeah. June.
Right.
So he sits in the chair with the steering wheel. He's in charge of steering the bus, task force bus. There's obviously the boss is Kate Bingham this year's. Is that her name? She's the big boss. She's basically, you know, he's the bus driver. She's at the conductor. You know, so that's the way. And so, but she said we probably won't have a vaccine, all of us, until July next year. But everyone thought, we're not going to have a vaccine until July. No, well, she didn't mean that. She meant everyone. I mean, the vulnerable people will probably start being, you know, like in America, they'll be done by Christmas. So we're 6 to 8 months, I think, before we get back to normal-ish, you know, that new normal, which is probably close to the old normal. But it's going to get better along the way because we'll have more drugs coming out, you know, finally be released. We'll have the extremely vulnerable being, you know, tested and all that stuff, being vaccinated, all that. And then, you know, it'll slowly get back. And, of course, the fundamentals of companies won't get back to normal straight away. Because, like I said, we were talking about on the podcast on Thursday with Chris Bailey, talking about Amazon. They own, like, what's it called? The Bull Ring in Birmingham Shopping Centre. They own Brent Cross. People are not going to rush back to the shop straight away. They've only been getting 40% of their rents, you know? And so there's people like that are suffering into as well, if they go and bust and all that stuff. So they're suffering, and people, they won't recover straight away. But the stock market runs ahead of all that, you know? When the stock market sees like the end of the tunnel, it starts to rally because you realise it's a forward-looking thing that you are valuing companies, you know, a couple of years down the line. So, so I just genuinely think now the fear is in. Last time the fear was in, a lot of people just sold and run to the hills, like in March. Because let's be honest, in March we didn't know when it was going to end. But now we can see a pinprick of light at the end of the tunnel, can't we? No offence, Steve.
No worries. So, do you think you're going to make your most money out of this?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to rally like crazy. Honestly, once you mentioned one stout, we wake up one morning. We will wake up one morning this month. I said I'm prepared to say within the next 6 weeks, right? And you'll get something like Pfizer, or let's go 8 weeks then. Next 2 months, they'll come out with, first of all, you know, positive clinical trials completed, you know, readout from one of the big companies. What do you think? That will be massive news, won't it? Trump will be all over it.
Yeah.
I push these guys, you know. He's got 80 million followers on Twitter. That guy, he'll be on every news outlet. Because let's be honest, we are under the cosh. I'm so sick of COVID. You, everywhere you turn, I've tried to switch it off a little bit, but I'm a bit addicted to it. And now I'm starting to read about vaccines on a daily basis. And I think, right. But I genuinely think we'll rally, a broader rally, not just a tech rally we had last time, which were nuts and all the tech stocks rallied, but a broad rally, you know, of companies that have been hammered down. And hopefully, because of course, once we start getting the first vaccine out, you're only 6 months away till everyone's been, 6 to 12 months away from everyone being, you know, inoculated. And
but so are you saying, from your point of view, a rally across the board of the stocks you hold, or there are particular stocks that you think in the foreseeable, you know, coming few weeks there'll be ones that you'll buy in preparation for a rally?
Yeah, I've taken my positions. You know, I'm in there. I'm taking positions now. I think scaling slowly now, but because once we get that news, you know, things will jump, things will move.
But some stocks have rallied haven't they, from the lows?
Well, COVID-related stocks like testing companies, yes. Tech stocks, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But another
things like
small...
EasyJet and all the travel stocks haven't. They've been hammered.
No, of course. That's what I was getting to. So there are some of those kind of sectors where are still hammered. Are you looking at some of them or not, or is that?
No. I'm taking my position. I'm going. If you look at my, companies there, then. In fact, a lot of them are insulated from it. The new one stock I have, like I say, is been hammered down as a leisure stock. As I mentioned before, is Escape Hunt. I do think it'll rally strongly because they were growing. They were growing very nicely before COVID, and you talk about 40-odd% improvement year on year, and then they're locked down. There was no worry about lack. In fact, Basingstoke is to be launched, guys. Basingstoke is open.
Awesome.
You can book Basingstoke now.
I should have mentioned that on the WhatsApp group. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just seen it on thing. Just seen it on on Twitter this evening. So you can book on Basingstoke. So I'm going to book that. You can't come down there, can you? Because you're locked in, Steve.
No. YouTube lots.
There's five things you can do there, though. 5 different experiences.
Steve's got his own escape room. It's called his house.
Escape Cardiff.
Yeah, so you can do Aladdin, Alice in Puzzleland, Our Finest Hour, a VR adventure, Mission Sigma, and a VR adventure survival. You can also do. I didn't realise this, Steve.
I think I'm locked down as well.
Well, don't worry. I'll take the family. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
They're a quality outfit, and I genuinely think, like I said, it will be a market leader. They are growing. There's no lack of demand for the quality escape room experience. In fact, you now do ones via Zoom. Have you seen that? Very clever. What you do is you can book it via Zoom. You've got a games room master who basically has a camera, and you tell him you look at all the clues. He can give you clues as well. But you can do it, say 4 or 5 guys on Zoom cameras. You all pay obviously, and they do it for you. So you can do it virtually as well.
Cool. Okay.
That's good, isn't it? It's good the way they.
I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure. That bit's my cup of tea personally. But now I own part of the company, I will obviously go and check it out.
I just saw a video. If you go on LinkedIn, they've got videos of it. A nice guy called James explains it, and they have it's like 4 other people on the Zooms as well, all young people, and it doesn't look quite. It works because he sort of gives them clues, and you go, oh yeah, start the course. They're trying to work it out. They're talking to each other, of course. It's fine if you I think for corporate things, and that's what they're heading for, is corporate as well. For corporate things, if you're around the world, it's a fun thing. It's half an hour, or 45 minutes, I think. And it's a bit of fun.
Team building.
Yeah, team building. Yeah. But of course, listen, and this is the thing. Basingstoke is the 11th operational site now in the UK. They're going to have some impact. The ones in Edinburgh, Manchester, Liverpool, of course. I think, but again, if they have to shut down, if they're in tier 1, they get financial help for that, so they save money. So it's not a problem. But mention that Hammerson, like I said. In their report, which was quite amazing, they said they get offered sites they wouldn't have been able to afford before COVID. So high footfall, top end, sort of central location sites. So it's very good.
Yeah.
I just.
So just going back on the whole your portfolio as a whole, and I'm just looking at mine, and I think some of my famous last words, but I sort of think the way that I've moved out of, I had some funds and some exposure to bigger FTSE stocks, and then they crash and burn. But I've recovered my portfolio value through small cap stocks that are on a journey and have done quite well in the last few months. And I sort of feel, like I say, famous last words, they are a little bit insulated from other crashes because they've got, take Polarean, for example. It's doing a great job at the moment, flying along. And even a lockdown and whatever it throws at it, I can't see it really stopping its progress because it's going towards the FDA approval. Am I missing something?
Yeah, no, Polarean, ideal, isn't it? First of all, it's medical tech. There's no other device out there. This will be, and Richard Holohan, the CEO, is very understated, and he says, I hate to say breathtaking and mind-blowing, but our tech compared to everything out there is. Ours is not even harmful, and that the old tech is. So why wouldn't it be given fast track status when, I don't know if you saw today, NHS now have already provided 10 million of funding for investigational work into long COVID, some symptoms of people with lungs, heart damage. You can't look at lungs properly without their tech. This has expanded their market massively. And what I like about Polarean, it's got from 45 pence to 70 pence in the last 5 sessions. And this is the start. It's valued at 100 million. It could be 10 times this from here when it gets commercial. And, like I said, Canada, one of the biggest cancer centres in the US just ordered one of the machines this week. That says a lot. When you get the biggest cancer centre in the US ordering one of the machines, and that's one of, I think, 25 out there at the moment, 25 machines, peer reviewing, people using them, big institutions. It'll fly. This will be, and I genuinely think it'll be the industry standard for pulmonary investigative work. And it adds value to their MRI scanners because it just adds on to that basically. So it's compatible with that. So it'll be huge. And what I like about this is when you see momentum build. If you look at the last 3 days when it rose quite bigly, volume went up as well. It went like the first day. And 674,000, close to 1 million shares. Next day, close to 1 million. Next day, even more. The volume keeps pushing up. And what happens is people think, I'll wait for a pullback. And then you have 2 days of rising. I'll wait for a pullback. 3 days, people just start jumping in. And that, the fear of missing out is going to go to the moon, and it can. And like you said to me, Pete, now we have, the whole market sold off on Thursday. We're recording this Thursday night. And you said, where do you think it'll come down to now? Support level? Well, support level's at 50. I don't think it'll get down there. I mean, last time it broke out in there, because what you've got now is it's a well-known stock. It's a well-known story. It's going to be valued a lot higher than this in a couple of years' time. So people just think, well, I'll just go for it now. I don't want to miss out. And so it may drop. But any dip now is going to be bought. It depends how big that dip, how much that dip gets bought. It will depend how much it'll fall, of course. But I think there'll be people now. Fear of missing out is a massive emotional pull. So that's why I say you've got to get in early. Before this happens, like I said, we were talking about this for over a year now. What, more a year and a half, when it was down at in fact, I remember we talked this about in 20s, some of that, in the 20s. So it's like 68 pence. This is just a start, honestly. This will be all over the world. These machines will be all over the world, and it's like I said, they compete against 40-year-old tech that's harmful for you, and this is, I just see it's a no. I hate to say no-brainer because nothing's a no-brainer, but of course it'll be a bit volatile. And even if they don't get fast-track clearance, that'll probably create a bit of a sell-off. People think, they're not going to get past. No, it's nothing to do with that. So even that may create a bit of a buying opportunity. But if it gets that fast-track clearance, I think it'll go nuts. So any dip any dip before that, and that's within. So looking at timelines here, I've got a list of stocks I own. And the timelines. So October Gfinity, in fact, October Escape and Site 11 Basingstoke just announced that they have. December Polarean, response from FDA on priority review. So I'll say with a fast track it by about 4 months. Also C4XD, December 1st, phase 1 completion, milestone payment due. December Escape Hunt, Site 12, probably Cheltenham opening. So they're going to try to open, they're going to try to open one every month. Sorry, it's November, isn't it? I think. Yeah. So,
how many will they close? I'm kidding.
But the thing is, now though, they said that when they can afford to be in higher, quality spaces, there's less chance of them ever folding because they are already. You can't be in a better place. So November, that is. So December. It's going to be a big month of this December because you've got C4XD and Polarean. Two big bits of news there. Talking about Gfinity, right?
Yes.
Did you see that? Did you read that article? It's a bit of a fake one from they're called from Guild Sports. Guild was just launched, of course. Everyone says David Beckham. Everyone says David Beckham's model. He's the investor behind this. He's a clever businessman, David Beckham. I tell you what, he is a clever businessman. They paid him 20 million to become an investor.
Is that true?
Yeah. It's in the prospectus. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Okay.
So he's probably put no money into it. He's probably taken his thing. He's probably put back money back into it.
Yeah, he's money in it. And so,
name, isn't it? Yeah.
So
wow.
He got his shares at 1 pence as well. They floated at 8 pence. It's nice, isn't it? Literally. So Beckham, the company said, before Beckham was an investor, they were entered into an influencer agreement with Footwork Productions, a Beckham-owned company that was set up for the exploitation of Beckham's names and image rights. 5-year deal, which was inked in May, and compensates Beckham for being the face of Guild Sports with a minimum amount of 15 million during the term of the contract. And he also gets additionally He has to do one photo shoot, one TV video shoot, make 2 public appearances, and complete 12 social media posts about Guild annually. In return, gets an annual fee, the amount equivalent to 15% of the proceeds of all Guild's merchandising sales and sponsorship revenues during the term. However, Guild agreed a minimum payment of 2.25 million the first year, 2.5 for the second year, 3 million for the third year, 3.5 for the fourth year, 4 million for the fifth year. Go. So literally, and he owns only 4%. It's only valued at 40 million, and yet he owns less than 5% of the stock, which has been paid to him in money anyway.
Nice work if you can get it.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you just realise all the hype surrounding it.
Yeah.
And you think people thought it's his company. It's not. He's basically charging them to be associated.
I've got an idea for Gfinity about Paddy, weightlifter.
Yeah.
Big sports guy now. Big global reach.
They will give you a tenner first year, £15 second year.
And
that's what I'm saying. Do you think it doesn't need that? It's like literally.
No. Right.
It's earning revenue. It doesn't need Paddy or Beckham. It's already heading towards, the revenue from its content alone is growing, massively. It's gone from nothing, nothing 6 months ago, and I think they earned, let me just look at the last bit of news. It was literally, what was it by? Strategic Review. So didn't they earn 130 grand of revenues in September, just from nothing 6 months ago to that. And that's growing, if you look back, it's growing but it's almost like 20-30% a month. And that's just one part of the business, of course. They're going to be profitable in Q1 next year. And I'm just thinking, there aren't many profitable esports businesses around. They've already got it going on with, partnerships with BT, F1. They've got their own sort of, virtual racing competition as well, sponsored. So it's on, BT and ESPN. And yet it's still around 30 million market cap. That's all it is. So you can see why they're doing what they're doing. Because I think a bigger... In fact, did you see that? In fact, public disclosure. Yeah, there's a lot of things going through. Offeree.
Well, I was going to say, a billionaire Horst Joachim Franz Geki, whatever his name is.
Yeah, German guy, yeah.
German guy. I haven't done his name justice there. Apologies. It was announced he's taken about 4% of the company, hasn't he, this week? Which again, I took as pretty good news.
Yeah. Well, he's a big German investor, and he's big in the Far East as well. And of course, the Far East is massive, huge as far as it's one of the most. Esports is one of the most popular ventures out there, and sort of pastimes out there. It's massively growing out there. So I think there's some connection there. I don't know what's going on. It's still a little bit of mystery happening here. There's something going on. I don't know what's going on though. I'm still looking forward to what is actually going on. Public opening position disclosure. There's lots of RNSs coming out, which I don't know what they mean really. Full name disclosure, offeree. No idea. But I think sooner or later we're going to see
live reading an RNS. That's never going to work.
Well, the volume is very hard. It's very big at the moment. The volume is like average daily volume every day. Then you see some big chunky ones go through, and I think, what's going on here? I don't understand what is going on. Something's happening, and I can't, because I was used to looking at the volume of it's quite orderly, but now it's literally all over the place, and I don't know what's going on. There's something very interesting going on, but I don't understand what it is.
No.
Yeah, so
beyond us.
Well, I'm not complaining in the meantime.
No, exactly. How much a bit of porf you got in there, Steve?
Most of it.
I'm probably a good. Oh God, actually about 40%. That's quite bad, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's not bad if you just go up, is it? It's just
no, it's not good. But at the same time, I do sit there going, especially we had those rises last week. I was like, probably take a bit of that out. But then if I'd taken that out before, when I wouldn't have made even more money on it. So it's a bit of a... Well,
the thing is, like I said to John on the podcast, John Clark, the worst that can happen is nothing comes of this. I don't believe that will happen though. And you're still a profitable company, doing well, heading in the right direction. So there may be a bit of sentimental disappointment over nothing coming. But again, the business is still improving. It's a 30 million market cap in esports, where there are companies. There's such a hot space here. They're paying loads of money just to float and get Beckham on board and association. But it's nuts the amount they're paying him. That's nuts. When you're at that level, you can't lose, can you? It astounds me sometimes how you can lose money when you get a certain level of fame. because you do get these people going bankrupt. You think, how have you gone bankrupt? The people are chucking their money at you.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good. I just started watching it on Netflix. Billionaire Bad Boys, and the first one is about this Indian billionaire who had Kingfisher beer, and he went into airlines. And of course, he got really flash and started buying Formula One and all this stuff. And he went into airlines.
Yeah, of course.
He went into airlines because in India they said you've got to encourage in the government documents. They said you've got to encourage prohibition, and that means try and stop alcohol sales. So they banned all adverts. So basically, he bought an airline called a Kingfisher. This is the biggest advert I've ever seen in my life for a beer. And but it started doing well. He did a low cost. He got the guy in from America who's in charge of one of those low cost American airlines there. Did very well. Then he started getting a bit flashy. He wanted to put first class in there. And the guy from America was a different business. If you wanted low cost, you even bring their extra row of seats in or taking one out changes the business model. So when you start messing around and bring nice meals and drinks and all that there, it's a different model altogether. So then he just left and he started going, and he bought a Formula One team and all that stuff, and it started going a bit wrong.
Yeah, he's the guy behind Force India, wasn't he? That guy.
Yeah. So just checking. It's the first in the series, I think, and that's on Bad
I will
Boy.
check it out.
Yeah. So
I'm just thinking, really looking at my portfolio, and I think you're all in the same position. It's like you've got these quite a few that are on hopefully a good trajectory now. I'm not investing in anything new really at the moment, or not looking at anything new. It's just, so it's kind of boring, but boring is good, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? We've pivoted, right? Like I said, I've been under a mission of the last few after looking at companies that have done sort of super well over the last 5-10 years that are not micro caps and have been sustained. The rise has been sustained, and the reason why the rise has been sustained is because they've started earning, and their growth has been very good. Their growth basically on revenue and profit has gone up over 20% compound annual growth, and those were like the Boohoo's, the JD Sports. What else was there? Game workshops, all that stuff. And you realise, right? I'm going to look for companies that are heading towards a profit, which means they'll start sustaining their value generation, and that profit will grow and the revenue will grow. So I'm looking at companies that are going to be growing quickly and be sustainable rise, and that's why you don't have to shop around. And like with resource companies, they'll release good news, like I say, they'll pop, and then a couple of weeks later they'll probably drop because they realise they still haven't got any money. They're not going to be generating any money for like 3-4 years, and that generating money is real value generation. That's why share prices go up. So they'll say we've just done a pre-feasibility study that shows our project has got a net present value of 400 million. So that's what's in the ground with all the costs taken out. That's what it's worth. Yeah, but you've still got to raise lots of money to get it. It'll take you 3-4 years to get permitting, to raise the funds, to get debt, all that stuff. So it's years. So I want to get companies on the edge of generating that cash, and then that cash will be growing for years. And if you look through the portfolio there, like I said, they're all there. For example, Gfinity is going to be profitable and growing, right? You've got OnTheMarket. It's now just made a maiden profit. It's going to be growing and profitable. Salt Lake Potash. It's going to be generating cash next year. It's going to be generating positive cash flow by June. It starts producing in March. By June, it's going to, and that'll build the next way it is. Polarean, of course, they're heading towards their major commercial decision with the FDA. Once they are commercial, they can start making lots of money and rolling these out. So those are companies you don't have to mess around with. You can hold Escape Hunt, Site 15, probably 16, break even 15, profitable 16. They're already signed up 14, legally bound contracts of 14 already. So they're one away from break even. I mean, of course, you have to make a bit of leeway because they're not operating at full capacity because of COVID. But they've got enough cash to get them through to break even and then profitability. And like if they have no revenue, they can last for 9 months. They've got revenue even now, right now. Okay, they're taking an impact on, like I said, Liverpool up north, but they will get. They've stated, out there, they've got a mid-term target of 20 sites. Top line target, longer term target of 50 sites, which will make them a 10 bagger on the EBITDA, and that's not including all the virtual reality stuff and the franchisees business. So I just think if you look at them compared to any other operator out there, their quality is way better than anyone else, and they've also got minimum, like I said, in Basingstoke, you've got 5 experiences you can do there, not just one. It's 5 different kinds of experiences there, 2 virtual reality, 3 rooms. And like I said, the hookups with Netflix and BBC are the best operator. I just find it really odd. It's 4 million. And that's why it's priced in. The fear is priced in. This is the time to buy when fear is at the highest. That's the only stock I've got really is in leisure, though. Sure. Everyone else is sort of... Gfinity gets busier when it's locked down. You know?
Yeah. It's amazing how every conversation comes back to escape hunt.
Because I'm trying to hammer home the opportunity. So I'm turn the heating off.
Okay.
I'm in my office. It was freezing when I got in here. I've left it on to... No, because, listen, right, some of them have risen already, right? I mean, the last two stocks I bought obviously haven't because I've just bought on the market. I missed out the big rise from the sell-off, of course. But I'm going to do a video this weekend on 5 stocks and their roadmap to 10 bags, right? And or valuation 10, uplift like 10. On the market, say. I don't think people saw that. I don't think people saw that in the market. Essentially, their interim results, right? First of all, maiden profit. Secondly, their revenue went up 28%. And that was including discounts. They did customer support discounts for COVID-19 for customers of 1.8 million. So if you add that 1.8 million, which they just took off because they let a lot of customers have their discount, that's 12 million for the first half of this year. That's up from 8 million last year. That's a 50% increase in revenue. That's phenomenal. Now, this is the quiet time of year. From February up until the busy time of the year is January, so it gets busier just before and after Christmas. So you can say, January is a record month. Yeah, January. I don't know, it's almost like...
springtime is normally there.
No, but January is the record month, the record-breaking month. Okay. Literally, you can add. I mean, right move as well. The site visits and everything. You've got, and also because we're in a couple of flats, we've noticed that they say don't put anything on the market just before Christmas. After the market, they all go nuts because you have people breaking up or moving out after Christmas, Christmas with the family, or even kids, or they bought a house and they're moving in. So it's really busy time of the month. And so I think if they did 12 million. Pretty much with a discount in the first half, and they did 12 million in the second half quite easily. That's 24 million. That's a 32% increase on last year, which is I think they should do more than that now because they're gaining a lot of traction, and they're also what they didn't do over the COVID period as well. They didn't convert any customers on low tariff or on free tariffs. And they've got quite about 3,000 of those. They stopped doing that because they realised it's a tough time, lockdown, we didn't do anything. So now they're going back to doing that. They're converting customers, and they do that by saying, look, you're getting average monthly leads now of 149 leads per month per advertiser. That's comparable with Rightmove. We're charging you a third less than them. So they will convert lots more in this final 6 months of the year. Biggest month is January. I think they could do 25 million this year in revenue compared to 18 million last year. It's 33% up. So that's excellent growth. Excellent.
The property market with the whole stamp duty thing will be a big thing until March, won't it?
Yeah, of course. And also, but someone said that to me. Said, house prices though just we could lift from stamp duty. I said, well, yeah, but if you look at Rightmove, so on the markets metrics. They've been improving for over 3 years anyway, so you can't put that all down to the current stamp duty thing. So it's literally they are now becoming a real challenger to Rightmove, and they're nowhere near the valuation of them. Like I said, 66 million on the market, Rightmove 5.8 billion, and so it will be a tipping point. And I'm checking the emails every day, and that just shows stock levels. And I think now stock levels, I don't think on the market that far off from Rightmove because I'm getting more emails on my search criteria, which is exactly the same for Rightmove and on the market. And I'm getting more emails from on the market because, of course, they've got a new and exclusive agreement with agents, and agents own 65% of the shares of on the market. And they wanted to survive. They wanted to beat on Rightmove because, let's be honest, if you're an estate agent, what do you want to pay? 300 quid a month or £1,000 a month? And have shares in the one you pay 300 quid a month with. Of course, it's a no-brainer, and you're trying to do your best to help it, aren't you, really? Yes, anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
These companies just sit there. Honestly, I am confident. It's like a couple of times Paddy said, you're going to sell Polarean now, it's risen a lot. I said, no, I'm not going to sell that. I mean, we've just gone past 100 million. This company will be close. Honestly, I genuinely think it's close to, its valuation is more realistic, closer to $1 billion, when we get past an FDA approval.
What percentage of portfolio is Polarean for you?
Now it's about 15%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm about the same.
Yeah. And you know what? It's like reading them, almost like having realization, times of realization, where you think sometimes when you've got, and I'm quite happy with the companies I have, you know, I'm not going to say they're all going to do the 10 baggers, but I think they'll get some of the way there. And so I'm happy to sit and wait. And I knew, you know, sooner or later Polarean would have a bit of a sell-off. It's bound to. You can't do like 50% in 3 or 4 days.
No.
And then not have a bit of a fallback. But what you get from this is you look at the level of interest, you know, stacks up and more people get involved. So on the dip, more people buy. It rises again. Then people get fear of missing out. Say, I should have bought the last dip. Or I didn't think it'd go any further. And there's the rolling momentum. That's what see, analysts can't, you know, figure it in. They can't sort of formulate. Factor in. Yeah. Formulate any kind of valuation with momentum involved. Because you can say, in the next 5 years, yes, Polarean is worth, you know, 350 million. But then when you start getting there and, you know, you get volume going through the roof, it'll overshoot that mark by, you know, amazing amounts. I see companies right now, they get no revenue whatsoever, you know, and they're just COVID testing stocks. And yet they are valued at more than Polarean. You're thinking, are you kidding? Polarian's got, you know, it's going to be around for like 20 years doing good stuff. Yeah. COVID testing won't. It'll be around for what, 6 months, 12 months maximum? You know, because after they get a vaccine and they know it works, and they've been testing and know it works, testing will go by the wayside, surely. Whereas Polarean, it's like valued at barely 100 million market cap, and it's going to be around for years. You know, be in the industry for years. So it's nowhere near yet. Yeah. Of course, it'll have spike ups like this. It'll come back down as well. But then it's up to you. Do you want to top up? I did say that today on Twitter when it was a big sell-off on Thursday. I said, looks like, someone said they didn't understand what I meant. But I said, seems like it's a buyer's/seller's day, depending on your outlook. And sometimes you buy, if you see a dip in a stock that you think has that massive potential, you buy.
An opportunity, yeah.
If you're trading stocks and you're in a resource stock that you think, this probably needs a fundraising in about 3 months' time, it's rallied nicely recently, then you're probably going to sell it. But I have no reason to sell the stocks I own because I think they'll be a lot higher in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, you know?
Absolutely.
No. I mean, if one rises to the point where it's taking up 100%, I can't do that. 90% of your portfolio goes nuts, then you got to sort of top slice a little bit and look for other opportunities. What do you think of the iPhone 12? Do you see it? Was it any good?
It all looks very smart and flashy, but I don't think I'll be rushing out to buy one for $1,000 or whatever it is.
The interesting thing is the new shape of it, which is pretty much the shape of the iPhone 4.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same shape, exactly the same.
Who told you that, Steve?
What do you mean, who told me that?
How do you know that? You've got an iPhone 4 in you. So, did you think, hang on a sec, I'll run to my drawer, dig through the drawer, there it is, iPhone 4, label up. And just...
I think I have got an iPhone 4 upstairs, actually.
Yeah. I just remember the shape of the iPhone 4. Yeah. It was when it went from curvy to like the iPhone 12, like quite square.
But do you know what?
Reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I was nearly sold it. That very slick in their presentation. AR sort of. There's no Apple sort of. Whoop, yeah, oh, theatre, whoa! And this year we've got rid of the jack. Whoa! We've improved the camera. Whoa! There's anything there. You can get it in burgundy red. Whoa!
I thought the best one was like, we're not going to give you headphones and a power socket anymore. Woo-hoo!
Woo, yes! You're ripping us off! Whoa, yeah!
You can't make phone calls anymore.
No one talks anymore. We've gone away with phone calls. Yes!
Yeah, got rid of that feature. Yeah.
We don't like screens, so there's no screen. It's like selling you a brick, a little whoa, yeah! I'm going to charge you $5,000. Yeah, $5,000 for no screen, no connectivity. Yeah. But I was sold by it almost, because I got the iPhone X and I dropped my one, it drowned. I had to buy another one for like 300 quid from Music Magpie, one of those services there. And it's not very good. It's glitching all the time. And so I was going to get iPhone 12 as soon as iPhone 12's out. And I was almost sold. I realised their big selling point was it's 5G. And I realised, I haven't got 5G. They give it a big sell. It's so fast. And I thought, hang on, where in this country is there 5G? Is it, or do you have to go with a certain operator?
It is pretty much everywhere. But as I say to people, I was like, it was a big jump when we went from 2G to 3G and 4G. But it's just like, do you ever think your phone's too slow when you're out on 4G? I don't. It depends what you're doing, I guess, isn't it? But for WhatsApp messaging,
I know.
Facebook,
I think
it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only going to benefit like gamers and stuff like that.
Yeah, latency,
which isn't us, really, is it? So
yeah, I suppose latency. I mean, again, though, you can't get it. So I saw that, and apart from that, it's the same old. It's like the camera's slightly better. It's like, wow, you get all these check. I mean, let's be honest. When the iPhone came out, it was phenomenal compared to what you had when they had Vodafone, when you had I had a Vodafone 2 or 1 or whatever it was, and you had Snake and grey white screen. Then the jump to the smartphone was massive, wasn't it? It was like something from a different planet. Yeah. Like the aliens had come down from future years and said, "This is what we're giving you." You think, wow, where did that come from? And then it's now incremental. It's small, incremental. Like they started talking about neural energy. They start trying to baffle you a little bit now. The neural engine is 4 times as strong. I said, what are you on about? What's that going to do?
I think the best bit, I think you were turned off by this point, but they had a Hollywood producer come on when they were showing the video capabilities, and he was like, it's capable of shooting a Hollywood movie. And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think you're going to be hired again if you turn up from a Hollywood director and you've just got a load of iPhone 12s there. Right, there you go, boys. You're like,
let's be honest, Steve. Let's be honest. You don't do Hollywood films, but if you went to turn up to do a promotion for a client, you took your iPhone, say, yeah, I didn't need this. They wouldn't be that impressed, would they? No, I turned off when it was a big, chunky lady on the roof of Apple talking about recycling all the bits. And I thought, I don't care about that. You now just give me all the nonsense I don't really care about. Right. I assume you're going to be, but what, do you see it? Why is she on the roof? Just showing that's an amazing building, but that big circular building with all solar panels. That's what I'm trying to show you, solar panels. We run, everything is on renewable energy. Everything we do. And I thought, love, you're probably eating enough for 2 people. So, that is not economical, is it? So she was very un-apple-like as a
well, by the sounds of it,
she was shaped like an apple. She's more like a peach.
Right. Okay.
But so I don't know. I'm not going to buy it unless we get some decent coverage, 5G, and that's the main selling point, 5G, and of course the camera's slightly better. The colours are deeper, darker, true blacks. They've been saying that for ages. The black is truer. We know about that. The camera's good. We know that.
So, I'm buying the new iPad Air when it's released next week. Well, it's on sale next week.
Why?
That's pretty.
iPad Air.
Why? Why?
Well, I've got a really old iPad which is slowing down. I use it for work, and it's got the same chip as the iPhone 12. It's just like it's a massive upgrade in speed-wise. So it should last a good couple more years. So, yeah, it's just the fact that my old iPad's starting to stop now.
yeah. But the thing is, cameras on my iPhone now, iPhone X I've got, it's good enough, isn't it? I don't yearn for better quality photos. They're good, How good can they be? They get to a stage where they're so good. Let's be honest, you put all fake filters on them anyway. That doesn't resemble real life most of the time anyway. So what's the point?
The filter most people use at the moment is that when it's got all grit and grain and makes the photo all dirty, which I don't quite understand. But
less quality. I know. Yeah, we are. So, but I was tempted though. iPhone. I don't want an iPhone Mini, but it ranges from I was saying $499, not $699 for iPhone 12 Mini. And then the biggest one with the biggest storage is $13.99, this is. But why would you want storage these days? If you've got Apple, in fact, they're clever. If you've got Apple, do you pay storage for £2.49 or something for a month?
No.
Oh, do you?
I don't know.
Oh, so I mean, all the photographs. Well, yeah, because we're kids, you take a lot of photographs, didn't you, really? And now you've got a dog, you take a lot of photographs. So, so that they all just get They're very clever. They just clog up your storage.
Yeah.
Pay $2.49. You get 200 gig in the cloud anyway. So I don't want it on the phone, really. So, saying that, that's a false economy, isn't it? Because if I'm paying, how much? $2.49 a month. If I'm paying that, how much is that a year? 25 quid.
30 quid.
Okay. If I pay that for 10 years, 200 quid.
300 quid.
I could have gone for the bigger iPhone memory chip. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It's worth going for the $2.49 a month. Anyway, anything else, boys? Any plans this weekend?
No, I think we've gone way off track. Yeah.
Thanks
for listening, everybody, to the bitter end.
I need to get on with my stir fry. So.
Oh yeah, sorry, Steve.
That is knackered, Steve. You haven't started stir frying it yet, have you?
No, I've just cut all the ingredients up.
Okay. Paddy's got how many more days? We're less than halfway through October now. Paddy said SO4 salty price. It's 40 pence by end of October. December for me. January, Pete, Steve, March playing safe. I think it'd be past that by March, Steve. To be honest, more like 60, 70 pence then.
I think January looks good.
I think
What's that at the moment?
I think December's good. Well, it dropped back a bit on Thursday, but let's have a look. It hit
close to about 36.
Yeah, it hit 30, high 33 on Monday, and again today it's come out at
32.
31, now 31 and a half. So yeah, listen, I think December's a very good call by me. All right, lads.
That's good.
Nice to chat to you. Have a nice weekend. All right.
Yeah,
by the way, video this weekend. What's the video? I've noticed, Steve, you're not watching the videos very often. Yeah.
How do you know?
I just know.
It does now.
Because basically you asked me everything in WhatsApp that I've done on the video. So just watch the video, yeah? Right. All right, boys. That's your research, Steve. Beyond What's the Ticker.
Okay.
Steve, that is your investment book. Beyond What's the Ticker. By Steve Martin.
I used to watch the videos. It depends how busy I am in work. If I'm busy, I don't watch them.
You're in lockdown. How busy can you be, very much?
Yeah, stop stir frying your vegetables and watch the videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.